so the next is Richard Harman.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here to talk about Victoria Square, and the materials I provided with you.
Yeah.
The material I provided goes well to the extreme at both ends, and I'm not taking it that far during this talk.
Richard, one thing though, this is the Christchurch City Council long-term plan, and
yes.
we're not involved in the Victoria Square other than as an advisor to Sarah. It's in the hands of the Christchurch City Development Unit.
I saw a questionnaire or some sort of submission on, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was asked if I'd like to talk to it. So I'm surprised that you say it's I'm in the wrong court or something of that sort.
No, well, it's not so much in the wrong court. There are other things in your submission. I just want you to use your time. If you want to speak to it, that's fine. But we agree with you entirely. There isn't anyone in this room that wants to see change that isn't agreed by the people.
Yeah. Well, I have a simple solution for it, which I didn't have when I wrote the blurb that I put forward.
All right, you give us the solution, and we'll pass it on.
Yeah. The opponents to the demolition of Victoria Square have been distressed by the lack of information from the government's CERA plans. And if we don't know what they're thinking of doing, then it makes it very hard to make our sort of case, the opponent's case. From John McCrone's article in last weekend's mainland section of the press, quote, under the government's blueprint plan, even the civic welcoming function of Cathedral Square is to be shifted over to Victoria Square. The idea is to make the new bicultural front door to the city a greeting place developed in partnership with Ngāi Tahu. Knowing that's the thing they're thinking of is a great help, and it opens an opportunity for cooperation. And actually, I think that idea sounds very sensible for a sort of plan for the city. What I call Victoria Square a work of genius, and I would hate to see it destroyed. It was right first time. And its undulating contours are still lovely to be in after 25 years. And I sat there with my wife a few days ago, and here is a green horizon, and there's another one over there, and it's all soft and easy. And beautiful. And in contrast with that, Cathedral Square was changed seemingly every 2 or 3 years for ages.
I know.
They kept taking the tiles up and putting new pattern in. It was just a failure.
Yep.
It wasn't a work of genius, and I feel that I have a very strong feeling that if you've got a piece of genius, work of genius, don't touch it, keep it. Now, so I've said Italy and France have genius in many of their public buildings, of which many are of religious origin. Their pieces of genius and populations are much greater than New Zealand's, but they would have similar feelings to ours if a public treasure was destroyed. So French fury, if the Eiffel Tower was demolished, would match ours if Victoria Square is flattened. We'd have the feelings, desolation and all that sort of thing. What's the alternative? That's easy, because the rebuilding of the city in that area is in such a state of flux. Move the civic welcoming function to the east side of Colombo Street, where Peter Bevan's hotel was, opposite the beautifully contoured Victoria Square. They could complement each other in a much softer and more friendly environment for meeting people than rigid straight lines. And that I thought, well, I'll stop there. I thought I'd throw it into the, well, into the pit and see how the lions took to it.
Well, you're not going to find any lions in here. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'll tell you the honest truth. I didn't even know that Victoria Square was included in the Avon River precinct until they came to brief us on what they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, so apparently it's all my fault because I didn't notice that the Victoria Square was included. But nobody in this room asked for the changes to be promoted. What we are pleased about, though, is that I think as a result of some of our influence in that regard, we now have a public consultation where they have taken that design off the table, so they have said, and we're holding them to that. And I think the weight of submissions that they've received will be interesting, and I'm looking forward to hearing what they've got to say next.
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.